What's going on, guys? Soldier Only here with Homicidal Lou. Welcome to this edition of the Daily Dose. We've been been slacking quite a bit lately on the Daily Dose, so it's good to get back into it. How are you doing today, bud?
Not too bad. I mean, I'm trying not to laugh right now because we haven't been lacking a bit. We've been lacking a huge bunch right
it's
now.
it's been really bad,
But we
yeah.
will be getting back on track with it. We'll be getting back on track with the daily doses with new content of highlights and new games that either me or Soldier hasn't played before.
Mm-hmm.
So we both together an insight of what we, have experienced in this game and if we recommend it or not.
Exactly. So what we're going to get into on today's edition is Destiny 2 is kind of going to be the big focus because we're ramping up. We're within 2 weeks now of launch. There's been a lot of trailers and stuff coming out just in the last couple days even. So the first one and then also, other than D2, Homicidal also has a game that he's going to tell me about, Slime Rancher, that I haven't even really heard of. I don't think I've even really heard the name. So we'll get into that in a little bit. So firstly, with D2, first we'll start with the, they called it the Destiny 2 launch trailer, a trailer that came out, I think it came out like 2 or 3 days ago.
Yeah, I think so. It's one really good trailer. I enjoyed it. It was a shocker. It literally shows you more points of the game itself and the story behind it. And if you haven't seen the trailer, I highly recommend you go ahead and watch it right now. It's amazing. Basically, one really big note I should point out, you actually get to see the speaker in the new trailer.
Right. That was the biggest reaction that got the biggest reaction out of me in that was seeing the speaker finally.
Yeah, and I mean, it's how do I put it? It's depressing to see the speaker in that position. Like, it's terrible.
It is.
He looks so vulnerable, like he's literally being captured by Ghaul.
Yeah, Ghaul literally has him. They literally kidnapped the speaker. And it's really interesting because in Destiny 1 too, so much of the community like didn't trust the speaker, thought maybe the speaker had like ulterior motives and all this stuff, but
he was right. He was right about this thing. Now, what was going through probably everybody's head, because this is going up on YouTube, I'm not allowed to use bad language, so I'm just going to put it in the most best way I can put it. Due to my restrictions. Probably what was going through everyone's head was the fact that, Red Legion sucks, Ghaul is a meanie, there we go. End of story.
Right.
Had to put the voice on because I'm just childish.
Right. I don't know, cause in the, like, I'm really stoked for like the story of Destiny 2, like that was the big criticism of Destiny 1 was its lack of like a story, and what we've seen so far, like there's moments that have been really impactful, like in the beta, for instance, at the end of the story mission in the beta, like when Ghaul strips the light, and it was kind of heartbreaking, to see the ghost fall down, and like when you see the Guardian reaching for the ghost, and then he kicks you off the ship.
Life.
Yeah, grasping for the ghost. Like it was kind of heartbreaking, and
alright. The way I've seen it is that the ghost is your aura, the ghost is your soul. You lose your soul, you lose your life, which is why that moment was heartbreaking, because the moment that the ghost fell down, it kind of showed that you was lifeless, you was hopeless, you had no means of being able to continue any further. It's like a loss of humanity in the world of Destiny. Earth, Venus, Mars, Phobos. I mean, you're going to end up seeing Cayde's, Ikora's, and Zavala's home planets as well. I know Xur is going to be there. I don't know what's going to happen to the speaker after you save him, though. Will he come with you? Will he reappear?
Or do we even save him, like...
Will you slap him in the face and go,
I
You shouldn't have
wonder.
told us that. No,
I
well, he slap you in
wonder.
the face and go, told you so.
Right? Like I wonder. I wonder like what Gull's motives are for taking him and not killing him. You know what I mean? I mean, because the speaker obviously knows a lot about the traveler,
Exactly,
and
that's probably why he captured him.
and the thing is because Gull obviously knows a lot about it as well too. I mean, because he was, he put that device on it or whatever, that blocks the light, the power to us or whatever. So, I mean, Gull
Exactly.
actually obviously knows a lot about it too. But yeah, I mean, it obviously makes sense why he would kidnap the speaker, but. It's going to be interesting to see. And another character I'm really interested to see is, I don't think we've ever seen what he looks like, but he's definitely been referenced to, but it's actually, he's called the Consul, and it's actually the guy that Gull like reports to. It's actually, Gull is actually like this Consul's apprentice, kind of, I guess you can call him. So, and I don't think we've ever seen him. I don't think we've ever. I mean, there isn't really a lot known about him, so that's another character I'm pretty interested to see about.
Like president, vice president sort of thing.
Yeah.
That's one way you could think about it.
And I read in like a Game Informer article too that Gull even came in power over the Red Legion by from like a coup, like he took over from the previous leader of the Red Legion, so he kind of. There was like a war within the Red Legion, and he took it over from someone else. So I can't remember the character's name, but so I kind of have a feeling, what if we join forces with that guy, like the one that used to run the Red Legion, because he's obviously going to be going against Gull as well.
Just like we teamed up with Varix in the Reef, because we all know Varix is a fallen.
Exactly.
Varix is a Vandal fallen. Actually, I think he's either a Vandal or Captain.
See, and this actually makes perfect sense now too, because there was this, I guess some people call it, I mean, I guess it is kind of a leak, but there was some faction badges for sale. I think it was on Amazon or something. But it had New Monarchy, Future War Call, Dead Orbit, but then it had a Red Legion one. So they made it look like that Red Legion is also a faction, kind of like how there's the House of Judgment, like you said, with Varix. So I think it's going to be kind of like that, like we were just saying. So this guy that is going to be going against Gull, maybe he would be like the faction leader for when we get Red Legion faction upgrades. So
actually sounds really on point. I would not be so surprised. If they do that. If we are to be teaming up with them, of course there's going to be a faction, just like you said with the Reef.
I think it was House of Judgment. I think it was
yes, it was House of Judgment. So if you're going to be taking the Red Legion name back from Gull, I mean, hopefully we don't get killed in the process.
Yeah.
By the original leader, he could turn against us after claiming back the Red Legion. Either that, or it could be a peace treaty. You never know.
And it's going to be interesting to see how we even start getting our power back and all that in the first place, too, after everything gets taken away. Because we know Hawthorne is a character in it, and not a whole lot is known about her, but one thing that is known is that she's kind of been living on her own out in the wild, away from like the Guardians from in the tower and everything, and she has kind of found like other ways to tap into the light and power from it. So I bet that's going to have a big part of the story of how we start getting power back and stuff. I mean, also by the farm there's that broken shard of the Traveler, so I bet that's going to be a huge part of it too, is going there and somehow getting light from there. Because when you see videos and images of it, you could see the broken shard like in the forest, and then you could see like the light, and the light is like kind of corrupting the land around it. So you could tell like there's still light there, there's still power there or something somehow. So I'm sure that's going to have a big part of it.
Yes.
Yeah. And speaking of which, actually, of the European Dead Zone, there was a new trailer. I saw it yesterday, and I think it was posted by IGN. I'm not positive. I did see one on IGN, but it was like a 3.5-minute video of European Dead Zone gameplay, and I highly recommend watching that. This one got me so hyped for it, because that's one thing that I've talked about it a lot in our podcast and other episodes and stuff, that a big thing in Destiny 2 I've been looking forward to is like stuff to do during the patrols, you know, so like the lost sectors and adventures and public events and all that stuff. And this trailer showed how a lot of that is works, and it looks like it's going to be so much deeper than Destiny 1. Like, from the way it looks on this, I am so stoked for it.
That's really good.
Let's see, Handiest Manny in chat says a lot of people thought that Dead Orbit was the one that tipped the Red Legion off. There were other podcasts like Guardian Radio, Focus Fire, My Name is Vibe did a few videos about what we thought was the precursor to the Cabal invasion. Oh, okay. I don't think I've heard that yet, but I listen to all those podcasts too. And my name is Vibe is awesome. He's got awesome lore content. Definitely check him out.
There's one hell of a plot twist, I'd say.
Yeah, a lot of people thought that Dead Orbit was the one that tipped the Red Legion off. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. So yeah, we're gonna have to see how that plays out. And like we said at the beginning of this episode, I am so stoked for the story of Destiny 2. You know, like you could tell, like it's a huge step forward, story wise.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be so much that's going to be coming around. And if we do find out that Dead Orbit was the ones that tipped the Red Legion off, then we all know exactly who to blame. Because the fact of the matter is, Dead Orbit have always looked suspicious.
Yeah, because they kind of believe. I might be totally butchering it, but for some, like I think, because I think Dead Orbit kind of believes that like the Traveler's like dead and like kind of a lost cause, that, you know, they should just kind of abandon it and fight, like, you know, continue the fight like on their own kind of type thing. Whereas
the speaker,
was saying
that we need the Traveler, we need to stop this once and for all, which everybody, you know, frowns down about, because the speaker didn't really play a much bigger role on Destiny until the Age of Triumph, where he had his own questline, which could, you know, probably show that everybody was looking up to Red Legion a bit more and thinking that the speaker was wrong, which turned out, you know, not be the case on the Destiny 2 beta. Open beta, closed beta, either. So that shows you that the speaker knew exactly what was going to happen long before.
And that's still even a possibility.
It all happened.
Yeah.
Hence why Ghaul and the Consul haven't killed him off yet, or any of the Red Legion haven't killed him off yet, which is why they kept him around, because the speaker primarily, in terms, speaks to whatever it's called, the third moon.
Traveler.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, see, and looking ahead too, because we know one of the expansions is centered around Osiris, and that one I really can't wait for, to see what's going to happen with that, because Osiris himself was actually exiled, you know, kicked out of the tower by the speaker, because I can't really remember in the lore. I need to watch more on it, but bottom line is Osiris and the speaker didn't get along, didn't trust each other. And so Osiris has been out on his own. I can't remember, in one of the Grimoire cards.
In the Reef.
I think he was at the Reef at one point. I mean that's where his disciples are. That's why where Trials of Osiris you go there is. But Osiris himself, I can't remember. I think it was on Mercury, actually, is where he was. He was exploring something on Mercury, I think is what it was in one of the Grimoire cards I read. But so it's going to be interesting for that when we get that expansion. I'm sure it's going to have something. I'm sure Osiris himself will be in it. We'll finally see him. And who knows, like maybe he'll be forced to, join with the speaker and unite with us to for this fight. But and then of course the other expansion is centered around Rasputin, which that one can be really good too.
Warmind.
Yeah, the Warmind Rasputin, exactly. Which is going to be awesome on its own, because the Rasputin, there isn't a whole lot really known about that as well either. So
yeah,
it's gonna be good because I heard Destiny 2. They said there's more cutscenes and cinematics in Destiny 2 than there has been in any game Bungie has ever made. So that's even counting the Halo series, all that. So they're really putting a huge emphasis on story and narrative in this one, and I'm stoked.
Yeah, definitely.
And like I said, you should, once we're done with this, you should check out that European Dead Zone gameplay one.
I will definitely have a look at it.
Yeah, it shows a lot of the NPC, because that's the thing. That's a big difference in Destiny 2. Now we're going to have NPCs that give us quests and that you actually interact with. And it was, what the hell's his name? Devrim something, but he's this character NPC in the European Dead Zone, and in the trailer it shows him like giving you quests, and it kind of shows some of the lost sectors and all that stuff. And
yeah, I mean, sorry about that.
No, you're good. No, you're good. But yeah, we're pretty much about a week and a half away from launch, so hype overload.
Yeah, I've seen people over Facebook just like hyping for this game. I'm hyped for it for definite. I want to get into Destiny 2 fully.
Mm-hmm.
I want to experience what it's going to give, the entire storyline. I know, like, there's going to be, without a shadow of a doubt, there's going to be expansions, just like there was so many on Destiny 1.
Mm-hmm. I haven't even played Destiny 1 in probably almost 2 months now, just because I'm going to be going crazy on Destiny 2 when it comes out. All right.
And I can't.
Yeah, I can't wait either. All right, so moving right along, Slime Rancher is... So what let's hear about this one.
I could go the basic talk and just say it's a game where you basically capture slimes and that is that, but I'm just going to go into detail. Basically, the whole base of Slime Rancher is basically you have taken... you're working on a slime ranch where you have to look here for slimes, you have to look for new slimes. There's doors which you go unlock by feeding slimes of certain sizes,
mm-hmm.
which I'm telling you now, they're huge. You can feed these slimes as well. Some slimes have certain, tastes of what they can eat. For example, a pink slime can eat anything, whilst a rock slime can only eat vegetables, a tabby slime can only eat meat, and a fossil slime can only eat fruit. So they all have their special traits, but in the end you can just keep up with it. There's there's one thing we don't usually realize is there is a story behind all the star mail, which is what the mail you to get in the game. It's called. There's a quest towards that, which basically to find out what happened with the original owner of the slime ranch you're working on and why he left the slime ranch.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know exactly why he left the slime ranch. I'm not going to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Why? because I want everybody to experience it themselves.
For themselves,
I don't
right?
want to spoil the game for anyone whatsoever.
Right. So, and didn't you say it was recently one of the games for gold?
Yes, it was one of the games for gold that you could get.
Mm-hmm. So you've been playing it on Xbox then?
I've been playing it a huge bunch on Xbox.
Okay.
You've got a good bunch of rare achievements on the game as well.
Mm-hmm.
Which it's a game that keeps on giving. I mean, it was in early access for a while, and I've seen gameplay of it in early access, and I'm telling you now, it was looking great in early access. So I'm not surprised that it's gotten where it's gotten currently.
Right. So what game could you kind of like compare it to? Like, what is it like? Kind of similar, if any at all, I guess.
It would be around about the Tycoon franchise sort of games, where you build stuff up, you do certain tasks.
So do you actually like
money?
So do you actually like build the farm and everything too? Like you can.
There's certain stuff that's already built up for you, like you've got a place where you sleep. You've got a place where you give the crystals that the slimes to drop, which are called plots.
Mm-hmm.
And you get money off of them. Certain slimes to give certain plots, and certain plots to have different varied amounts of prices on them. And the currency in the game is Nubucks. So there's 3 slimes that you cannot capture in the game, and 2 slimes you really want to capture.
Mm-hmm.
And there's 1 slime that you want to keep away from. Now, I want to get into the slimes that you want to capture, but you cannot capture, and that would be the Lucky Tabby and the Gold Slime. The Lucky Tabby doesn't really give you anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's just there and it runs away from it. I think it gives you just Nubucks. And the Gold Slime, it runs away really quick and it'll disappear from you because it has a fear signal. And you have to shoot stuff at it. It may it be meat, fruit, veg, or other types of plot, water, and it will drop gold plots. Mm-hmm. And they're worth up to like 500, 600 Nubucks. And they're extremely rare.
Alright. Yeah, I'll have to check that one out.
Pretty much what you want to watch out for. The one that you want to keep away from, and this is also a slime you can craft yourself. If you're going to craft this slime yourself, keep it away from your slime ranch because it's going to turn into nothing. I learned that the hard way, believe it or not. I had freaking a shit ton of mosaics slimes, which are like, they're the second most valuable slimes that you can only get in a glass desert.
Mm-hmm.
1 plot slip, it's all it takes in your ranch to lose everything. These certain slimes are called tars. Basically, you feed the slime a plot. It will combine into a completely new slime with the 2 slime variabilities. But that is all it can go up to.
Mm-hmm.
Feed it another plot, it will turn into a tar. And a tar eats nothing but slimes. And it will keep reproducing, reproducing, and eating. It will not do nothing else but that.
Wow.
It will reproduce from the morphs that you create, and trust me, it will attack you if you get close enough to it. Or if there's no signs around in the varied area, it will attack you, and it takes 20 health off of you. Bear in mind, there is upgrades that do upgrade your energy and health, which my health and energy is at 250 currently. But there's ways to defeat them. You could either do it the easy way, walk away, they will explode and die off if there's no slimes for them to eat. Because they just stay alive if they're eating slimes.
Mm-hmm.
Or 2, you could chuck it into the slime sea, which is also something you don't want to go into because it's toxic.
Right.
Or 3, chuck water over it. They hate that. It will kill them off. And trust me, it's not a bad thing to kill off a tar. It's a good thing. And Bitcoin tar, the way I can describe a tar is like a really dark grey slime. Looks a bit like, it has a deformity.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got like different colour stripes going up it. And you could tell if a tar is around. This is the great thing about slime, actually. You can tell if a tar is around. Because the music will change. Mm-hmm. And a tar has a different sound to any other slime in Slime Rancher.
Okay.
There's one slime that you do not have to feed as well. And that would be the puzzle slime. Chuck it in a pond, it's fine. You can leave it alone for as long as you want. It will not die. It will not turn into a feral. Why did I say that? I haven't gotten 2 ferals yet. Well, now I have to get to them. Ferals are basically slimes that haven't been fed in a long time.
Okay.
They have distinct red, darkish red, electrical field around them, and they will try to attack you. You can prevent a feral attack, and you can take it out of its feral state just by feeding it one bit of food.
Mm-hmm.
It will then come out of the tar state and it will stop trying to attack you. You don't have to kill it off. You can just take it out of its tar state by feeding it. Which, you do get plots out of it of wild slimes as well as your ranch slimes. And trust me, it takes I've tried turning my slimes feral. I've slept through 14 days and they didn't go feral. So they must have left for over 14 days.
Right. Yeah, at least.
But definite.
All right. Yeah, I'll have to definitely check that one out sometime. But yeah, I think that's going to do it for today's edition of the Daily Dose. Like we said at the beginning, we're going to try and get back in the swing of things and getting this on our regular Monday through Friday kind of thing. Definitely, like we said with Destiny 2 coming out soon, and we're going into that busy fall season of video games. There's a lot of great games that we're looking forward to in the back half of 2017. So
yeah, but the thing is, I start college when around about the day before Destiny 2 comes out.
Oh boy.
So I can't play it until I get home.
Right. Yeah, same thing with me. I have to work, but then I stream every day after that. So, all right. Thanks for joining me once again, Homicidal Lou. And if you're watching this on YouTube, hit that thumbs up button if you like the video. Sub to the channel for more content. And if you want to catch these live Monday through Friday, we do them at the beginning of the stream, usually around 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time at twitch.tv/soldieronly. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.